This one breakout strategy made me almost $50,000 all traded live in London session. If we calculate using NY session as well, we're working towards 6 figures using just one setup. Now I know you guys are used to saying millions made online by these traders every single trade, but do they trade actually live? That is the question. I'm here to show you a proven entry strategy and a proven breakout strategy that actually works and has worked for me, and I'm going to continue to use into this year because of how powerful it is. The best part is this strategy is extremely simple as long as you follow every single step that I'm going to describe in this video. With that being said, let's get into how to trade my exact breakout strategy step by step. Let's go. So the biggest problem online is most strategies are not backed by evidence. Now, breakouts is a very popular topic and some people say it doesn't work, but that's not simply true. The problem is online, if you claim for something to work and be very, very good and effective, you need to have data to show it. Personally, for me, this is my live stream journal that I've had for 3 years. And if you look at here, the setup number 1, how often it comes, those are breakout trades. And in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly a specific type of breakout, because we have in here all-time high breakouts. We have in here range breakouts. We have trending breakouts, we have counter trend breakouts, you name it. There's all different types, but in this video I'm going to teach you a specific one that has the highest win rate out of all of these type of breakouts, and that is the most effective. So if I bring you back onto the chart here, we need to understand what is a breakout. So a breakout essentially refers to what we're looking for is for price to break out of some sort of range or some sort of resistance, meaning we are trading the continuation. Okay, so this is what is meant by a breakout here. And this is something we need to understand. It's that simple, right? Breakout could happen from the upside or it can happen from the downside here, okay? Now, breakouts happen when the candles continue above. If there was a wick that just came above like this and closed back in a range, that's not a breakout, that's just a liquidity grab or a rejection wick, okay? Breakouts happen when candles close above and continue above. That's an actual breakout. So I want to teach you what is fundamental about a breakout. So the number one thing we want to understand is before we trade, we need to trade in times of volume. So you're going to be trading at Asian session, London, New York session, London session, 1 hour before London, during London Open, or New York session at New York Open, and all the way into NYSE. You can research online what time that is in your time zone and find that out pretty quickly. But the key thing for breakout is we're going to need this exact setup. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start on the 4-hour time frame. Whatever direction the candle has closed, the previous one is the direction you're going to be looking for breakouts. So in this scenario, if the 4-hour candle is bullish, you're going to be looking for buy breakouts, not sell breakouts, buy breakouts for this to work effectively. Now, there is ways you can do sell breakouts, but we're going to speak about that in a different video. So make sure you like, subscribe so you can show for future videos. Make sure to drop me a follow on Instagram, posting a lot of updates about my trades there. The second step here is going to be, let's say we get a bearish candle close here. That means what are we going to look for? Sell breakouts here. Okay. So once we understand that, now we understand what we need from the higher time frame. The next thing we need to do is understand what is the entry type we're going to take. So let's, in this example, talk about a buy setup here, right? We're looking for a buy breakout. So I want to see price continue up like this. And then price is going to do what? It's going to create a resistance. I needed to create a resistance. If I see this, right, this would be your breakout candle closing above. I'm not convinced yet. So I'm going to show you how to make this more effective. So what I want to see is I want to see possibly a candle come up here, retest this, which I'm going to tell you what this is in a minute. And then I need to see another candle close bearish. Could be like this. Could be a bigger candle like this. Right? It doesn't matter. This will do what? This will create a resistance, right? So you need to know what support and resistance. Support is a floor, resistance is a roof. So if you don't know basic support and resistance, go and check my basic course. I have a full 2026 course, then come back, watch this video. So we need support and resistance. Once you have support and resistance, it's going to look something like this. We're going to be aiming for the resistance. We need 2 taps of that resistance. So this is the first resistance made. This is the second. In order for the resistance to be made, we need a bullish candle followed by a bearish close, bullish, bearish. What time frame? 15 minutes going to be. You can do it on 30, 1 hour. Doesn't matter. But for me, I prefer the 15-minute time frame. It has worked the best for me and I enjoy it. So if you're trading more faster assets like US 30 and stuff like that, you can take this breakout strategy on the 5-minute. I use that as well. So you can push down to the 5, but on all other assets, Forex, stuff like that, use the 15. But NASDAQ, US 30, check out the 5. So once we get 2 taps at this resistance, right, this is going to prove to me that this is a zone that price is having problem with buyers. Buyers are failing at this zone. So there's a very high probability that if we get a 15-minute candle closing above, or a 5-minute candle closing above this zone, this is showing me has to close above, can't close below with a wick above, has to close above. Okay, like this. This is showing me that now buyers have taken control of this zone here, right? You can see how sellers probably got faked out. Now buyers have started to come back into the market. We've closed above this zone. I can look for a bottom wick, and then I can look to what? To break this high to continue. Now this is a very simple, effective breakout, but it needs a few more steps for this to work. It needs a few more things that are going to make this work, and are going to make it work more often than not. It's a highly accurate setup, this one. But what are those things that's going to work? I'm going to explain you and show you a live example of how we're going to make this work. So before we get into a live example, one thing that you can't miss out on is going to be these. What are these? These are called LTAs, clean candle areas, because if price was able to move cleanly in the past, we'll be able to move cleanly in the future. So if we're looking for a buy breakout, we need price to have a clean candles here on the left-hand side that was selling in the future so that we can expect a clean buy. Same, if we were looking for sells, I can't sell in this mess. I need to sell in clean candle zones. Very, very important. Look at this mess right now, not clean. I can't really do breakouts in this scenario right here. Okay, so that's super important. We want to be trading in clean candle zones. So let's have a look at this gold chart here, right? So we have a gold chart here, and what we can see is today has been moving bullish. First thing we want to do is go check the 4-hour time frame. Is the previous 4-hour closing in the direction of the trade we want to take? Yes, bullish 4-hour candle close, right? Now we go down onto the 15-minute time frame, right? That's the time frame. We need to make sure we have clean candles to the left here. I've done that work. I'm going to save time. I've scrolled back. Yes, you have to scroll back that much till you find. Make sure we have clean candles. Now we have created a resistance. Great. So since we've created a resistance, now we can look for what? We can look for, and this is going to be a key example because we need 2 resistances formed, okay? So why couldn't we take this buy here? We had 1 resistance here, 1 resistance here. This resistance was higher than the last one. We don't want it higher. We want it equal or lower. That's going to be extremely important. The second problem with this, which is what I mean there was more information, look at the size of the candle. If the candle closing above is almost the same size as the range, it's not going to be worth it. So here we had a 15-point range, and here we had a 13-point candle. So if the candle breaking above and breaking out is the same size as the range or almost around the same size within like 80-70%, it's not going to be worth to take that trade because most of the volume has already happened. So we want a smaller candle, okay, to break out. So we don't want like such a massive candle. So what we need is we need this candle here in 6 minutes to close bearish. If this candle here in 6 minutes closes bearish, then we will be able to look for a breakout buy if something was to close above. So as you can see here, the 15-minute candle did close bearish. Now we have the rules, right? We have 1 resistance made, the second resistance made. All we need is this 15-minute candle to close above in order for us to be able to take an entry. So that's what we're going to wait for, this 15-minute candle to close above. So the candle has closed above here. Now all I need is to see this next candle make a bottom wick like that. Once the bottom wick is made, I can go ahead and place a buy order breaking this candle high now that the bottom wick was made. That's a very important point. So what I've done now is place the buy stop breaking the high, and stop loss goes below the candle that broke out of the range, right? That's where you want to keep majority of your stop losses, below the candle that broke out of the range. So we got triggered into this position here. You can see P&L. So the next step is, where do we want to target? Now you want to target the next resistance. If I had a resistance level right here, then that means that my stop loss is bigger than my target. If we tap that resistance level, I would have to move my stop loss to break even so I don't lose the trade, because I don't know if the market's going to reject it or respect it. So it's very important to make sure that you have at least a 1-to-1 to your next level, or that you're moving your stop to your entry once you tap a level and hoping for volume to continue here. Since in this trade on the left hand side I have a massive clean zone here, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to go tap into this 205 level here. 205 is a key level. I'm looking to reach there with this breakout here. So this is what I'm going to be looking for. and I want to see if we can end up reaching there. Keep in mind, in these trades, not always are you going to get a nice push. Sometimes you might enter the trade, we might be holding some drawdown, but as long as we respect the structure, it can be fine. In this trade, it is moving very smoothly and it is not giving us much headache. You can see P&L there. As you can see here, the next candle has closed. It opened with no top wick and is now making a bottom wick. Don't worry about that. There's a high probability we can make a top wick here. A lot of candles have top wick. Now, there's an optional point to move your stop to break even. I like to move my stop to break even when we reach a previous level, or we have tapped a resistance. As you saw, it just triggered me out of the trade there and hit TP. Very smooth trade. Not always will you get it as smooth as this, but this is the power of breakouts, is that you avoid this random consolidation and be part of the volume time move. This was taken during London session, and I'm using Pip Labs to show you this. This is a software where you can practice, simulate, and do a lot of things. So check that out as well in the description. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more, you can check out the first link in the description. I put a lot of value on my channel, so make sure to check that out and show up on the live streams. With that being said, take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Peace.